relationship between sex and divorce. So just tighten your seatbelts because we're going to delve right into it. Today we're going to be talking about something really interesting, and we titled it, I could divorce my spouse because of sex. Right? I could divorce my spouse because, no, let me not even use I, because whether in example or in reality or in recording or in whatever way, Pastor Chikezie Oke, together for life. Yeah. So let's go back to it. They could divorce their spouse. They could divorce their spouse on grounds of low or no sex. Now, on the sexual aspects of it, clients come and say they are done, right? But I want you to hear from the legal aspect of it. Is it possible to divorce your spouse because of sex? To introduce myself again, I'm still Vera Chikezie Oke, and with me today is a divorce specialist. He's a lawyer, he's a legal practitioner, he's everything, barrister, and all encompassing. But you see, the same way I chose to specialize in sex, he chose to specialize in divorce. So without much ado, I will allow him to introduce himself. So let my audience meet you.
Hi, hello everybody. My name is Olutunbi Babayomi. I'm a lawyer, like she has rightly said, and I'm also a divorce specialist. Yeah, basically. So what I do with my specialization is to ensure that marriages are secured. You know, one thing people assume is when you hear about a divorce specialist, the first thing that comes to your mind is this person is a homebreaker. But quite frankly, it's the opposite. It's the opposite.
Yeah. Okay, thank you, Tumbi. So you guys have heard it. He's not a homebreaker. Before you go and set him up somewhere now to catch him, he's happily married. Yes. And I'm sure he wouldn't want to separate from his lovely wife.
Definitely not.
Yes. So you've been wondering, what's the relationship between sex and divorce? So just tighten your seatbelts because we're going to delve right into it. Today we're going to be talking about something really interesting, and we titled it, I could divorce my spouse because of sex. Right? I could divorce my spouse because, no, let me not even use I, because whether in example or in reality or in recording or in whatever way, Pastor Chikezie Oke, together for life. Yeah. So let's go back to it. They could divorce their spouse. They could divorce their spouse on grounds of low or no sex. Now, on the sexual aspect of it, clients come and say they are done, right? But I want you to hear from the legal aspect of it. Is it possible to divorce your spouse because of sex?
Definitely, it is. I think that's the first and most simple answer to give. Now, I think I should start from here. Now, under the laws that apply, which is the Matrimonial Causes Act, right? The first ground, of course, the omnibus ground is that the marriage has broken down irretrievably. But the first ground under that is consistent and persistent refusal to have sex.
Wow. The
very first ground. So you can see that even the law emphasizes and prioritizes sex, extremely important in a marriage. And then it goes on to say that if the court gives an order that the court can actually give an order saying parties should ensure they continue to have sex.
Wow.
Yeah, you can go to court together kind of order.
As the marriage did not tell you that you should have sex consistently, the law now says, oh yeah, you must have sex.
Yeah, you must have sex. So wow. if the other party then fails to obey this court order, you can come back to court and say, my lord, my husband or my wife is refusing to give me my matrimonial rights. I want a divorce. So the law absolutely recognizes sex as a ground for divorce. It does. Okay.
So, in case for people that don't know, right, I keep saying it, but it seems like we've started trivializing it. The Bible says that for this cause shall a man leave his father and his mother and cleave to his own wife. The two shall become one. I keep saying it. Two do not become one by the marriage band. If you like, buy 100 carats diamond, if you like, carry the biggest rock on your finger, right? Two do not become one by the wedding band. Two do not become one by signing the dotted lines, the ones that they give us, these people. They will give us a certificate and say we should sign. Whether you sign it, you don't sign it, it does not make you one. If you like, call the full legion of pastors and reverend and ministers and ask them to lay hands on you, pour your anointing oil, they would not make you one. The only way by which two become one is by intercourse. Because when you have sex, you are combining, intertwining your spirit, your soul, and your body to whoever you have sex with. I'm sure some single people will be wondering now, where am I going to? I'm coming there. I'm coming there. So whoever you have sex with, you have created a spiritual, physical, and emotional bond with that person. Hence, the Bible talks against sex before marriage. And I know that legally, any financial or physical or emotional assistance given to somebody during the phase of I love you, I don't love you, is null and void. So I can't say that, now my ex-boyfriend, I gave him 100 million naira. We're not doing it again, I want to collect my money back.
So that question is a very important question. Now, because the law, it's not actually written in black and white under the law, but there's a provision of the law that says that if somebody promises to marry, there's a clear promise to marriage, not an assumption, not that you guys are dating. So steps have been taken. Maybe you've seen the family, the person knows you know each other and all that, and the person then fails to marry you for whatever reason. You can actually go to court and claim damages.
Wow.
Yeah, you can, because
let's not give them what to go and claim. Wait, because some people now will collect what they call a promise from this person. They collect. Okay, now it's making sense. That's why when we are doing there's a phase during premarital counseling where we do know me, know you. Yes. We always ask, have you promised anybody marriage before?
Besides,
is there somebody somewhere that has an inkling that you are coming to marry the person? Oh, wow. You see, when we tell people that Christianity does not go against the law,
no, it doesn't. People
don't believe it. We tell you that Christianity doesn't go against the law. The law that has been written in black and white, they take most of their, something called, when you want to start a business, most of their capital ideas are from the scriptures.
Absolutely.
They are from the scriptures.
Absolutely.
So even the law knows that, even if you like, go to registry now and sign dotted lines, you are not legal, you are not married until you have sexual intercourse with your spouse. That means that if you get married today, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month, 1 year, you have not consummated that marriage. That marriage is applicable for annulment.
It is, absolutely.
Oh,
and I think I should also add that, as lawyers, one thing we always like to educate people on is that our laws are a reflection of the society. So everything you see happening in the society is what the laws are made for. That's why I'll give you an instance. We don't have a law that covers homosexuality because it's not in our culture. So if the law is emphasizing, sex in marriage, then it means that culturally we take it and we value it as a people. You understand? So every law you see today comes from the Bible. It does come from the Bible, directly from religion.
Guys, are you hearing? Every law you see today, it comes directly from religion. It comes from the Bible. So don't say, because I studied law, the law says this, and then you isolate the fact that it got its source from the Bible, right? And the Bible says that Jesus did not come to dissolve the law.
No, he came to fulfill it.
He came to fulfill it.
Absolutely.
Right? Praise God. Oh, I feel like a preacher right now. Okay, so back to this sex and divorce thing. Do you have clients that come to you and say, my wife is not doing it well, I want to end the marriage, or my husband not kind of working, I want to end the marriage?
We have. I've seen cases like that. But as lawyers, we operate on strict confidentiality. So I will paint an image.
Please.
I'll paint an image. Now, I've had 3 different cases, very recent cases at this time. The first one was the husband approached me and said that we've been married for about 8 months, and in those 8 months, we've only had sex once.
Wow.
Now, my first question was, you and your wife, are you living apart? And he said no, but for some reason, our body is not just receptive to me. Every time she sees me, every time we try, we do every other thing except sex. So my next question was, the first time it happened, how did you? And he said that the first time they had sex was before marriage. So after marriage, they've not had sex at all. 8 months.
Wow.
Now, the first thing that came to mind is, you're suffering.
It's suffering. This is the way you're saying
really
this suffering. That's a suffering
really something. Because, what is marriage without sex? I can imagine how you're
feeling.
So now, in that situation, of course, we would not, as a professional, we don't immediately tell them, go and divorce. We first say, okay, have you seen a therapist? Have you seen the medical experts in that field? Have they given advice? And unfortunately, they had never done that.
I have not referred them to us.
Oh, we did. We did refer them, but first to a medical expert. Because if we go to court to file a divorce, we need to be able to show medical reason why both of them cannot have sex, whether the fault is from him or the fault is from her. Now, the second case we had was, this one was the husband and wife even came to my office. And they said, barrister, we've been married for 3 years. And in 3 years, we can count the number of times we've had sex on one hand.
How do you count sex in 3 years? One hand is only 5 fingers now.
On one hand. And I had to be sure. I said, are you putting all your hands together as one hand?
No, as in, it's 5 fingers
just
now.
One hand. And I was happy that it was the 2 of them there. So it's going to be like I was saying one person's side against the other.
So at least both of them have recognized that there is a problem.
There's a problem. And they said, we see it's not working. We want to mutually dissolve the marriage. Now, in that situation, of course, they also came with medical results and everything to show that, for some reason, one of the spouse was depressed, and every time they want to have sex, there was a lot of issues in our background.
Okay, so let me come in now. Let me come in now as the, doctor of sex.
Please go ahead.
Yeah,
please go ahead.
I come in as doctor of sex.
Please go ahead.
So in situations like this, when they are referred to us,
okay,
I keep saying us. How many of me are there? When they are referred to me, I would like to first do a brief history. Right, find out what exactly, because a lot of people get married with baggages.
Yes,
right.
Very true.
You don't just, yes, there are people that don't like sex. They are called asexuals.
Yes.
They don't like sex, right? But when you dig deeper, we find out why do they not like sex, right? It could actually be, it could either be an abuse, it could be trauma,
very true,
right? It could be indirect abuse. Now, the person refusing to have sex now just observed somebody else being abused or heard, or heard somebody else being abused, and then absorbs the trauma.
Interesting.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Yes. So it's not like she was the one being abused, though, but that she might have not even observed. She just heard that maybe her friend was raped, or her classmate was gang raped. You understand? Or somehow, or was beaten, and the person just exits sex like that. And so every time the spouse, the husband comes to touch her, she replays images of what happened, even the image that she was not inside. See, the mind is a powerful tool. So you now sit down and begin to assume, so maybe when she was coming, they now blocked her here, then she now entered here, she tried to run, and that two people now blocked her here. You act the full film.
Fully.
Yes, and then the more you brood, the more you expand your mind on that particular subject, the more you engage yourself. So every time her husband comes to, so this is why we always say, have premarital counseling. Because when you do premarital counseling with a good counselor,
with emphasis on that.
Yes, not why I do it. A good counselor. When you have premarital counseling with a good counselor, that is also very spiritual, not religious.
Very true.
Very spiritual, that can connect to the spirit.
Very true.
The person would tell, might not you might not even be having conversations about sex. It could be conversations about anything, and then the person will react. And then the counselor will say, no, this reaction is really not about this thing we are talking about. It's coming from the past.
That's true.
So until you have a proper therapy session, I tell you there's a difference between therapy and counseling.
There is. Yes.
Until you have a proper therapy session, therapy will go way back into your past, dig it up, open up the doors that you have shut to protect yourself, because the mind has a way of protecting you from past trauma.
That's true.
Open up the doors that you have shut with, for those because of particular past trauma. Help you walk through those doors until you come out a new person.
Very true.
Then that's when you'll be able to accommodate the next person. So you see, most times the problem is really not sexual, right?
Absolutely.
When it gets sexual, people begin to notice that they have a problem when it becomes sexual.
That's true.
But now, just from what you have said, now I have not spoken to the two people involved, right?
You've already given
yes, I know
analysis.
that we need to talk to the woman and understand where she's coming from, right? Then also counsel the man on how he can deal with her. Because like they said, their marriage is not bad. It's just the fact that she can't stand him having sex with her. And it could also be trauma of first experience.
That's another thing. That's another thing.
You know, that's a lot of things. That's something a lot of us push to the side. Trauma of first experience, she might have had a lot of expectations, and the first experience was just, and you know, just say, you know what, just shut that. If that's what it is, what are we now doing again? You know, or it was traumatic, or it was rape, or it was something, or it was abuse, right? And just shuts out from sex. Because in that 3 years, like you have said, every other thing is working except the sex, right? In this case, as a counselor, I would say, come, let's deal with it. Deal with what the past is saying. Help the man understand that this is what his wife is actually going through. And tell the man that, okay, it's really not about you. It's something she needs to deal with. I would like to use this opportunity to talk about the book by Pastor KINGSLEY OKONKWO, Heal Before You Deal. A lot of people think they are okay, that we all wake up in the morning, have our bath and dress up, put on makeup, put on the best suits, and we are walking on the streets of the town. It does not mean we are all right. You will need to read the book, Heal Before You Deal. Because most times, you don't know what you are dealing with that you need to recover from. And if you keep going about with that baggage of hurt, you will tend to hurt every person that comes in contact with you.
Absolutely.
So get the book, ldnwpk.org, Heal Before You Deal. Now, barrister, divorce. What other reasons, what are other grounds, legally, what are other grounds for divorce? Okay,
now, under our law, I'll try to be as simple as possible. Now, like I said earlier, the first ground is refusal to have sex, consistent refusal to have sex. Now,
so it's not that they just refuse one, now you run to lawyer?
No, it has to be persistent and consistent. So, you know, there's been a request for sex over a couple of months that has led to years, 1, 2, you know, down and on like that. Now, even if they started having sex when they got married, and 6 months or 1 year into the marriage, you understand, it is still a valid ground. Now, the next ground for a divorce case under our law is unreasonable behavior. Now, if and you see, this unreasonable behavior is a very wide umbrella.
It's wide though, because if they say cook egusi soup for me, I say no, I want to cook vegetable soup. Is it unreasonable?
Well, it's left for the court to interpret it as unreasonable. Now, it depends on how you argue the case actually. But of course, unreasonable behavior has to be something very cogent. And it's not just that it's unreasonable, it has to be a behavior you cannot live with.
Okay.
You understand? Now, if it's something you've condoned over the years and then, you know, you just wake up one morning and say, no, I can no longer live with this. I'll give you an instance. Now, the law says that a ground for divorce is rape. Rape, bestiality, and sodomy.
Wow.
Oh, yes, it's one of the grounds for divorce. rape, either your spouse has committed rape, bestiality, or sodomy. Now, there is an exception under the law.
Bestiality is sex with animals.
Yes.
Okay. Rape is forceful non-consensual sex.
Yes.
Then, because we have to explain it.
Definitely.
Then sodomy is homosexual.
Anal sex.
Hello, all of you that have been asking me, is anal sex correct? Is anal sex all right? Is it okay to have anal sex as a Christian? As my brother, my sister, we have just heard from the divorce lawyer now that anal sex is a ground for divorce.
It is.
I just wanted to point it out. Please, you will see it here. Anal sex is a ground for divorce. Choose wisely.
Definitely.
Yes.
So I think it's a good thing that our law even explains what sex should be. The law does not consider sodomy as sex.
Please, what is the law's definition for sex?
Oh, so under the law, sex is intercourse between man and woman. Not woman and woman, not man and man. And it has to be, because if the law says sodomy is a ground for divorce, that means anal sex or any other type of sex that is not, I don't know if I should use the language because it's not my field, but sex is vagina and penis. Not penis and anus, not any other thing. So if the law says sodomy is a ground for divorce, then it's important that we know that even the law does not support it in any way.
Do you know why I'm happy? Because people will be wondering why it's sweet to be like this. Because most times when you come from the angle of Christianity, right, even Christians argue with you, right? Now we are telling you that even the law, I'm happy that we established in the beginning that the law gets its source, its capital information from the Bible. So even the law is against sex that is not penis to vagina.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So penis to anus is against the law.
It's against the law.
It's against the law. Wow. Wow. Animal to human.
Definitely against
the law. It's against the law.
Definitely against the law.
Wow.
Definitely.
So all these people that have been molesting animals, goats and dogs up and down.
It's against the law.
Wow, just that the animals cannot speak.
They can't speak, unfortunately.
But as their neighbor, can you report?
Oh, yes, you can.
Bam.
You can.
I just wanted to be clear because there's some